Greetings, everybody. We are going to be in conversation with Rajendra Barwale, who happens to be an alumnus of the College of Agriculture, BSc AG and AH 1973 batch. Raju Bhai, it's a pleasure to be in conversation with you. It's actually a shame that you're not going to be with us at Pantnagar, but we felt that your video presence should, at least in part, make up for your not being there with us. Yeah. Tell us what you know about the Pantnagar clan.
Well, Shailendra, first of all, thanks very much for taking all the trouble to put me on video so that I am able to be there at the time of the reunion. You mentioned the word clan. So, Pantnagar clan is a group of people who spend some part of their lives in Pantnagar and for a very important activity of imbibing values, gaining knowledge so that they can do something in life. And people who imbibe these kind of characters, they've come together and we labeled it as Pantnagar clan. You were one of the leading ones, and we have seen it grow over a period of time, and it is a great thing to keep connected and to keep on remembering old memories.
Since leaving Pantnagar in 1976, what have you been really up to?
Yeah, that's an important question. Of course, I left Pantnagar in 76 after I graduated. I have been involved in primarily two activities, basically taking care of the family farms and then joining my dad in the family business. So last 40 years now, I'm associated with the family business of hybrid seeds, and very soon I'll see the next generation taking over. And in the course of that journey of 40 years, you've done a number of other things which you are supposed to do, and fulfill your obligations to the family, to the society, and to some extent to the educational institution you went. So I did visit Pantnagar 30 years after I graduated, some time back, and this would have been the second time, but looks like I'm going to miss it.
It's a shame that you have to be in Denmark.
Yes.
Exactly on the days that we are in Pantnagar.
Right.
We are definitely going to be missing you.
Sure.
But I'm sure you'll be there with us in spirit.
I am.
And it's a gathering of a lot of very erudite alumni as well as mentors of ours who we are felicitating at Pantnagar. And for me personally, it's a pilgrimage back to where I learnt how to live. It's a pleasure and an honor to be amidst so many very well thought of alumni as well as teachers of ours, and we're looking forward to a lot of interaction with the staff and the present students and staff of the College of Agriculture as well as the university. Now, you are familiar with what the Pantnagar clan has been kind of working on over the last few years, like you were a very major supporter of the Dr. S.K. Mukherjee scholarship that we instituted at the College of Agriculture. So what is your relationship with S.K. Mukherjee?
Well, we all called him Swaroop, so Swaroop and myself, we were batchmates, and Swaroop was called the genius of the batch. I distinctly remember that for every test, we all used to sort of prepare so much in advance, and we always saw Swaroop taking things very easy. And just before the test, 1 hour, 2 hours, he will start moving amongst his batchmates and asking, "Hey, wo notes kidhar hai? Wo notes kidhar hai?" And but surprisingly, he will always score the highest numbers in spite of all the challenges
Exactly,
he had.
physical challenges that he had.
Yes.
And he was somebody we could learn so much from.
Exactly, yes. Then, of course, I had very close contact with him because he decided to come back to India, and we asked him whether he would be interested in starting the biotech work in Mahiko, and he said yes, he would, and he started that in Bangalore for us. And he was also very closely involved with the BT cotton work. He visited St. Louis and interacted with Monsanto, and we got to the stage of the field trials, and then because of his physical handicap and other medical issues, we lost him. He could not see the BT cotton become a reality in the farmer's field. We have strong memories of Swaroop, strong memories about his intellect, about his analytical abilities, and of course he was a very warm and very friendly person.
Exactly.
I'm sure others would also agree. But during the course of that 4 years, we were together, in rooms next to each other in the hostel. It is a great memory.
You are also aware of the other initiative that we have taken with the clan to set up a Dr. D.P. Singh, Dhyanpal Singh Memorial Excellence Award.
Yes.
So what do you think about that? And
see, these are all very good activities, but I see them more as activities of the Pantnagar clan to keep themselves connected with the institution, and also connected with the people who were associated with Pantnagar, who are currently engaged in education or imparting education in Pantnagar and the future. And such initiatives help us to revive our memories. They make us remember what we gained by being in Pantnagar, what contribution the education we had in Pantnagar has made in our lives, and the journey we have completed so far, the contribution of our days in Pantnagar. It enables us to make sure we don't forget that. So these are good initiatives, and I would also like to see that we continue doing things like this.
what did you find unusual about Pantnagar once you got there for the first time?
See, Pantnagar was I would say everything was unusual.
Absolutely.
Pantnagar was the first time I came out of home. It was a very big, or I would say large institution with many colleges. We always had the concept of college means one subject and few students. Pantnagar had 25,000 plus students. That's what I was told. So that was the first unusual thing. It was a large institution. It had a very diverse faculty. There were teachers from all across the country, and there were teachers also from overseas. We had, as you know, relationship with University of Illinois, and there were professors coming and imparting education. The third thing was it was in a rural setting. There was nothing else to detract you. You were focused on education. Your entertainment was focused in the university. Of course, sometimes students went to Kicha and Haldwani and to see movies and all that. But that was an exercise in itself. But otherwise, it was all Pantnagar day in day out.
You didn't find the GPA system unusual?
So I was just coming to that. It had a very different kind of evaluation system than what I was experienced to. Yes, in school and college. We had a trimester system. We had a quiz. Every week there was a quiz.
The unannounced ones were the one that
was always challenging. And if you come in classes of Dr. Rastogi, you don't know. He may ask what is the color of the flower of this so and so plant, and you don't know, so you get a 0. They had a hourly test every month, and of course then they had the quarterly result for the trimester. Another thing was that all performances mattered in your final rating, what we called as CGPA, cumulative grade point average. So getting a good grade in one exam was not enough. If you slipped in another exam, your cumulative grade point would go down. And as we didn't know it in the beginning, we didn't realize it, but then it hits you
hard. It caught up with you very fast.
Very fast, very fast. But of course, it was a good evaluation system because it focused more on understanding things, replying things rationally,
and being prepared all the time.
All the time, doing your homework, doing your reading,
assignments.
I remember distinctly Dr. Rastogi asking a question: name 5 plants from your hostel to the college and give their scientific names. Now, this is not in your academic program in the sense of syllabus or so, but being a student of agriculture, you are supposed to see this plant and understand what is this, keep on asking that questions and all that. And there are a lot of focus on library work, which resulted into the exams put pressure on you that you must read and you must be sort of broadly prepared.
Sure. The library was definitely the central point of the university.
Right.
That's where you really acquired most of your knowledge outside of the
classroom. Yes, yes.
And I thought the textbook, the subsidized textbook scheme was brilliant.
Was brilliant, yes.
Because it enabled us, have a collection of some of the most amazing textbooks in the world.
Oh yes.
I had 2 or 3 suitcases full of books when I left Pantnagar.
Sure.
It was a difficult thing to get it back home, but it was well worth all the trouble.
Yes.
And coming back to Pantnagar and the peculiarities of Pantnagar.
Yes.
How has some of your experiences in Pantnagar been of value to you outside of the university?
See, another system Pantnagar had was every student who came in the university was assigned an advisor. So he sort of became your local guardian. So he was a person to whom you can go, you have any kind of problem, you have a hostel issue, you have a food issue, you have academic issue. Now my advisor was Dr. Nene, and as you know, we were all in awe of him because of his standing and because of his temperament in terms of discipline and expectations from students. His advice is particularly to perform brilliantly. So that system, I think, has helped in a great way. One is in seeking advice, then in meeting obligations, and third, taking that forward in whatever you do, which has happened with
basically
me.
Advisors became your first mentors.
Mentors.
Mentor in the university.
University system, yes. And of course, they also, my experience has been extremely good, so it inculcated a sense of, like, I can never be late to meet him. Because, if you are 2 minutes late, first 10 minutes you will get a firing from him, and letting me know why being late is not good. And after that, then he would start, how did your hourly test go? And in one subject, organic chemistry, in one test I got 0. So he asked me point blank, why have you come here? You must be at home only, you don't need to come here and get a 0. And then he took the trouble to talk to the professor of organic chemistry, Dr. Khanna, if you recollect, and try to find out what was the reason, and then advising me how I can work around it and still make the A grade. I remember that. So that was, I think, a big learning. That system enabled us to have a local mentor and as a guidance point, inculcate this sense of discipline, commitment. The example I just shared, where you don't need to get afraid with failures, but keep on to working towards your goals so that you can reach them. These have helped in the day-to-day life, in the business areas, and also, of course, on the domestic front, in family life, and we try to impart these values to our children or to the family members, to the extended family.
True.
And
one of the things that the Pantnagar clan has kind of focused on was in active networking. Do you find value in being able to network the way we do in the Pantnagar clan?
I would say that networking is of great value. People may do networking in many different ways.
Exactly.
In today's modern world, we have many tools for networking, which enables you to do it much more easily. But in my working life, and again, because I'm associated in the field of agriculture, I have met numerous people who have been alumni of Pantnagar. And the first introduction is that I heard you are an alumni of Pantnagar. And that's how it starts. And it brings you on a very different level of understanding and working together.
Indeed.
Yeah. Recently, I came across a senior government official, and he told me I was junior to you by 2 years.
I have a very unusual experience. I was on an assignment in Philippines in the 1980s, about 87 or so, and I had work in a little island called Iloilo. I took this plane, and it flies only twice a week, and there were only 2 passengers on that plane. And we got talking, and turns out that this gentleman did his graduation from Pantnagar. It's so odd to think that you land up in a country as far away as Philippines, and you're in a plane with just 2 people, and both people happen to be from Pantnagar.
Right.
Rajubai, since you're not going to be with us in Pantnagar for this felicitation function, tell us what your message will be to people who are gathered here for this function and to current students and staff of the university.
Well, I think there are three categories of people who are going to be there. First of all, our teachers, and I want to, through this video, I want to convey my respects to all of them. The present faculty, the faculty members who, on the request of the Pantnagar clan, have taken the trouble to be there. My respects to all of them. Second is to my contemporaries, members of the Pantnagar clan. My apologies for not being there, but I take great pride